um, welcome everybody. It looks a little bit like a skeleton crew in here. It isn't. It's okay. Welcome back to Drinks and Toys. I am here with one beautiful counterpart, Mr. Psycho. What's up, man?
Not much. How's it going, man?
Good, very good. We do expect Wheezy will jump on at some point. He doesn't seem to be able to do the 8 o'clock thing. He's got other things going on. I get it. We have life. We have real lives. This isn't a career. I wish to God it was, but it is not. And so, we've got things we've all got to handle. And poor Johnny is in the transition of moving his entire office around, so he has zero computer connectivity, much much more beyond a phone. So it's kind of a nightmare for him to try to be on. So I got it. I'm like, it's cool, man. Do you? Don't worry about it. We shall carry on without you. Your legacy will not be forgotten. So,
but yeah, man, changing things around is difficult. I've been working on my collectible room for the last couple of weekends, just trying to get a little bit here and there, and it's hard. I took a bunch of the boxes and stuff that are still unpacked from or not unpacked from when we moved, and I put those out in the living room just so I'd have some room in here to actually unpack stuff and get it up. But my wife and I actually got all of my artwork hung up on the walls.
Oh,
so
cool.
At least that's that's up and good to go. So
you guys moved a while ago. I'm not being funny, but you moved a while ago, right?
It's been a year. Year.
That just tells you what life does to you, man.
Yeah. But it's also there was so much else that was more important, right? Like,
sure,
we had to get all the rest of the rooms ready and everything else. My collectible room is the last thing. So, and you know what it's like having young kids. So you have young kids. Your weekends are not going to be filled with doing the stuff that you want to do or need to do. It's going to be filled with spending time with your family and making stuff happen.
Yeah, my weekends are not my own. It goes one of two ways. It's like dad doesn't get dad time. And it is what it is. People are like, well, you should always have your own time. Look, man, I'm a parent first. There's no other way around that. So if dad doesn't get to do something, that's the life I chose. I chose to have kids. I love my kids, and it is what it is.
That's right.
And I have to make do the small times that I do have. Even if I happen to be off a day during the week, I don't have my kids during the week, then guess what? Dad lives it up for that one day. And usually it ends up being dad slept in. He got up, he had a quiet meal without anybody screaming in his ear. And that's it. And that's cool. If that's my day, that's my day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't really have anything crazy to talk about tonight other than I did I know not everybody's a fan, but I wanted to talk about two things. One, recently Mattel, I guess, announced that they're going to be the ones holding the license to make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys in 27-28.
Okay.
Saw that. That's very recent. And then the other thing is, oh Lord, was on the tip of my tongue. Oh, two things actually beyond that. So three things total. But there was Voltron. Hasbro is going to be doing the Voltron line, which I'm excited about. I know that, Chris Wheezy had mentioned, is like, oh, well, they tried it before, it didn't do well. Well, I got it. But you're talking about, I assume Hasbro is the one that did the most recent one we just had. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember who did the one we just had. But we've had Ideal did it. We had, what was the, what was the other company that made them back in like very early 2000s? They had gold parts instead of silver. God, I want to say Ideal, but I don't think it's Ideal. It's something with an I, though. I can't remember what it was. But again, I had no problems with that. Just, regular recreations of Voltron. You can't really mess it up. Unless they do like they did, what do you call it? Did with the Playmates did with the Power Rangers redos. Those poor things were trash.
Playmates apparently held the Voltron line from 2018 to 2024.
So there you go.
And then now it's going to be Hasbro 2026 into the future, but they haven't said how long their licensing agreement will last. It does not look like they bought Voltron though.
They probably just bought the rights to make a toy.
Yeah.
Because there's so many companies that do. You've got third-party companies. You've got whatever that company is, Toluke Delectable. I don't even know what they're called. Blitzway made them. There's just a lot of companies that have bought the rights to do that. And I don't think whoever owns Voltron ultimately really cares. Toynami puts out a set every year. I just don't think anybody cares. They're just like, yeah, it's Voltron. If people dig it, let's get it out there. And I think
3-0 did a 40th anniversary retro edition.
So I think we are going to end up. One second here, Psycho. I feel like our layout for the video is weird. It is. That's why. I'm like, why are we so zoomed in on each other? So yeah, so Hasbro is going to be doing the Voltron thing. Now the cool thing is, I did see the notification that they're going to make the Doom vehicles. They're going to make hero vehicles. I bet we get another castle. I'm excited about that. I'm huge for Voltron. As a kid, it was the coolest thing I had because I like Transformers. But before I even had a Transformer, I had Voltron. And then from Voltron, I had Robotech. I remember my parents buying me the Family Home Entertainment or whatever VHSs of Robotech. And I know for a fact they bought it for me because they're like, oh, this transforms. It must be a Transformer. And so that's why they bought it for you. So I had that. I had Voltron. And then I got one of my first Transformers, which was, of course, Optimus Prime. Because, the parents don't know. They're just like, buy him the leader. He must want that one. And I wanted Jazz. Thanks, Mom. But I got Optimus Prime. And so that was cool. But I had Voltron for many, many years after that. And so I'm excited for it. I think it's cool. Do I know if Hasbro is going to do them any justice? I don't. I hope they do. I hope they don't, pull a butcher like they did with the Power Rangers and start making stuff that nobody wants, like the Lightning Collection. Yeah, they look cool, but the vehicles themselves, I don't know. I was kind of burned on that. It didn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could share your enthusiasm for Voltron, but I never liked it, to be honest. I saw the toys when I was a kid. I don't think I ever had one. The cats didn't do it for me. I was not a fan. I've never really liked cats, so the idea that it was all these were cats, I was like, not my thing. But then Power Rangers came out and was essentially the same concept, but with a better Zord, in my opinion.
oh Lord, a better Zord. So Psycho, we've done this before, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be 45 in a month.
I'll be 42 in July.
Yeah, so 3 years. So it's not the end of the world. But it's funny because we laugh because 3 years can change a lot of things,
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the reason I'm not into Masters of the Universe.
Because it died out about the time you were old enough to have a toy.
Yep. I really liked Thundercats when I was a kid, apparently, because my mother and father would talk about how I'd run around the house shouting Thundercats ho, right? Like using anything that I had for a sword. And I even had a bunch of the Thundercat toys, which I still have somewhere, but I don't know. I never really put much stock into that. For me, it was Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. And then as I got a little older, Power Rangers, and that was kind of my thing.
It's kind of wild how those 3 years make a difference, man, because I was Voltron. I liked Thundercats. I didn't like it enough to be like, Mom, Dad, get me toys. I was a big Motu fan, Mask. Those are what was like real heavy when I was a kid. And then we got into the early 90s. And so you got to figure I was turning 10, right? In 91, I was turning 10. And so in 91, I bought, when you got to be between 10 and 13, you kind of were like, oh, maybe I'm too old for toys and my parents are going to think it's weird. Yeah. And one of the last toys I can remember buying with any real love for toys.
Yeah.
One of the last toys I can remember buying with money I got for Christmas one year was Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember that show.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So the show was terrible. It was like watching Godzilla, but worse. because I like Godzilla, but it was like watching Godzilla the same puppeteering,
Mhm.
but it was way worse. And they tried to like kind of rip off Godzilla and Power Rangers if you mix them together.
Yep.
The puppetry and the live action people. But what I liked was the toys. They just had you got this like jaguar looking guy from Godzilla basically,
Yep.
and it's like he could either have a dragon that came apart and just became all his armor, or he could have like these drill vehicles and like crazy armored vehicles that would become his body. So it was kind of cool, like kind of like Kamen Rider. Like these were all out of Japan that they brought over to America. Saban at the time was just like, what do we got? Let's throw it out there. The kids are eating this stuff up.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
so
no,
evidently Wheezy cannot make it tonight.
Yeah.
Bummer.
I didn't watch that show. I saw a couple of episodes, but it wasn't something that I could like recall watching. But during the pandemic, there was this channel on YouTube, and this guy did videos of old shows. He did one for X-Men. He did one for, I think, Batman. He did one for the show that you're talking about, and the shows were great. And it was from a big company that he was doing this for, and then they just canceled it, even though everybody that watched the show thought it was great. So I don't know what happened. The guy never did anything else. Like you would have thought that he would have taken that momentum and kind of did his own thing, and he didn't. He never went back to it. But the shows were fantastic, and that's where I actually got to learn about what you were just talking about. Because he did a whole episode on things that they tried to come out with to capitalize on the Power Ranger phenomena.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, so ultimately, obviously, Power Rangers came out in Japan or what have you well before we ever saw it.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel there was inspiration from Voltron, for sure. And then before Voltron, I mean, you had some of the Henshin cyborgs, the what do you call it? The oh my god, what were they called? The Micronauts, the world of the Micronauts, all that kind of stuff. If I'm not mistaken, Micronauts came out before Voltron, I think. Which would make sense. Which would make sense where America said, "Hey, we got to make something that combines because that's what kids like."
Yeah.
And so they came out with Voltron. Which, if you ever watched Voltron as a kid, the show was terrible. Other than the battling between Voltron and Aerobeast, the show itself was atrocious. The voice acting was atrocious. It was like the same 4 people did the voices of every single character. So you're just like they would have like a girl talking, and it was a little girl, and it would sound like a grown-ass man trying to sound like a little girl. And I'm just like, oh god, I can't watch this. Just show me the figure. I want to see Voltron kicking butt.
Yeah.
That's so wild, man. But
it's gonna drive me crazy because I don't remember what the name of that YouTube show was.
So I was actually today. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day. So I actually today was I got in a piece, right? I got in some mail.
Okay.
And do you know who Bingo Toys is?
I have heard the name several times. I couldn't tell you what they make, but
so synonymous with Transformers. That's what they do.
Okay.
So I actually the other couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I had pre-ordered from Bingo Toys. They are starting to produce pieces for Computron. They're like a third-party company.
Okay.
It's amazing. I should pull up the picture and show it to you. It's absolutely phenomenal. Very impressed. I'm very excited for the rest of the item to come out. They just released, I can't remember if it's Strafe or Afterburner. I can never remember. It's the guy who looks like he has 2 Cheetos sticking out of him.
Okay.
So let's see. Bingo Toys Computron. This thing is, God, it's gorgeous, man. And this is just one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, we got Marcus. Marcus, holy crap, dude. What's going on, man? Long time no see. Mark's my homie, dude. We used to go out and hang out all the time in Ocala.
Nice.
Good cat, dude. I miss him. Him and Sarah Kovaciakis. All right, here we go. Give me a minute here, John. I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're good.
So this is it. So is that Strafe or Afterburner? I can't remember. Is Afterburner the motorcycle?
No, I thought Afterburner was the jet.
So he is a jet. Let me see. Can you see me change it? You can see me change the screens, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, God, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, no, I think that's supposed to be Afterburner.
Okay, so maybe that's his name. So I love Computron. I think he's an underrated combiner. We didn't get enough, in my opinion. We don't have enough third-party companies making him in any kind of quality. They make him some weird, awkward way.
Yeah.
These guys, Bingo Toys, man, they hit it on the freaking nail. And I ordered 2, one to show, one to go. And I'm keeping it. And if anybody's listening, you all know me, I'm going to open it. So I might have to do it on camera.
I'll believe that when I see it, but
I know it happens a lot. But I have to open this. I'm so excited for it. And I have Scattershot is on order. I've got 2 of him coming, and then 2 of the motorcycle, which I cannot think of his name. Maybe that's Strafe. I don't know. But 2 of the motorcycle coming. So the other 2 pieces of Computron haven't been released yet or even shown. There's no prototype pictures, nothing. So I pre-ordered the other 2 that are available. I have 2 of this one, Afterburner, what have you. The box is awesome. The art is awesome. And if you ever see, let's see if it's on this, if they show it on the Big Bad Toys website. They show him as the arm, and you're just like, oh my God, it looks so good. There it is.
Nice.
I mean, just look how freaking good he looks.
Yeah, no, that is cool. So
then I got a wild hair at my butt because, you know, I got to stay in debt. It's the American dream. So I jump on YouTube and I'm like, let me check out a review for Bingo Toys to see if I can see if anybody got this yet, because I just got it and it just got released. There's not one person on YouTube right now with a physical. There's people that have it. They're showing, but it's not them. Like, it's not them playing with it. So there's nobody that physically has it in their hands that they've done a video yet.
Okay.
They're just showing the prototype pictures and whatever people have, you know, posted out somewhere. So MGo or EMGo, whatever the guy's name is, he posted, he has Bingo Toys Jazz. And so he shows a review for Bingo Toys Jazz. This thing is like, I'm almost like disgustingly obsessed now with Bingo Toys. They are putting out these badass, high scale, high quality toys, high quality figures for nowhere near what you're paying for True Masterpiece or some of the third parties. I mean, you know, some of those third party Transformers could be $250 for one guy.
Yeah.
The quality of these Psycho, I'm just like, how are these guys getting away with this? And they're not loose. There's no quality control issues. Like, everything that they're showing, like with that Jazz that MGo showed, was just stupid good quality. You gotta watch the video, man. Go to YouTube, watch him do the review on it. And like, the only negative you could even bring up, and maybe it's me because I don't like things that are difficult like that, was the transformation. I mean, you could have a stroke. It's just so many pieces, like so many steps. But if you do the steps properly, you get the most badass looking articulated. First of all, you can put him any way you want to put him, and he's not loose. He is not like, you know, ex-girlfriend prom date. He is tight as hell in every area. But he comes with 2 blades. He comes with the speakers. You know how Jazz always had like the big speakers?
Yep.
He comes with these 2 boombox pieces, and then he comes with the Jazz cannon like on his shoulder.
Okay.
Here's the cool thing about that. Every one of his accessories can be stored in either bot mode or alt mode. So they made this guy to be touched and played with and what have you. Giggity. So I'm all about it, man. It is. You looking it up right now?
No, not yet. I was trying to find that thing so I didn't drive myself crazy all night. And so I did eventually find it. It was from Sci-Fi Wire, and it was everything you didn't know. And the first couple of episodes that I watched of it started in 2019, and it was different people that were kind of doing the everything you didn't know, but starting with Street Sharks from my watch history, it was this one guy who did a great job. And he did Street Sharks, Beetlejuice, the Mega Man cartoon, the Spawn cartoon, did the Street Fighter movie, Beetleborgs, X-Men Evolution.
Oh my
God. He did a Beast Wars episode, which was great. He did Surf Ninjas. He did Freakazoid. He did Biker Mice from Mars. He did Godzilla the series, Justice League, Static Shock, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, and Spider-Man, the new animated series, the one that MTV did. But these videos were great, man. I know you love Transformers, so I would definitely recommend you watch the Beast Wars one, which was amazing. But
I'll have to check it out. I'm trying to find you a good, like, this is a great picture that somebody posted on Show Z. It just doesn't zoom in enough. Tim, what's up, man? Let me see here. I guess I could try to share it. I just don't know if it's a good enough picture. Oh, we got two people jump on. Yes, so actually I read the same thing. Real life Street Sharks. They showed a what to me it looks like a CGI clip, but I could be wrong. But it looks pretty cool. Alex, what's up, man? Congrats. Your daughter got married.
Congrats.
Let's see. Kind of crappy, but so right here, I don't know if you can see this one right here. See, well, that's shitty. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's just so hard to find a picture where it's not a video.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's just, and I want to do him justice because he is amazing. Like, they call him Jezzy instead of Jazz, obviously.
Yeah, so the live action Street Shark thing is fake. It's not a real thing. It was a fan made trailer.
Was it? That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks because I saw the I saw all of the things people were sharing and the buzz was crazy. You would think somebody would go, "Oh crap, there's a following for this. We probably should do it."
I don't know that I would want a real life Street Sharks movie.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I enjoyed Street Sharks as much as the next guy when the cartoon came out. It was all right. I don't know that would translate to something I'd want to see in real life, right? So
I wasn't a big fan.
For me, it was like you had the sharks diving into the street and swimming around. How's that going to look in real life? You know what I mean? Like in a cartoon, it works. In real life, it wouldn't. I don't know. I would be perfectly fine if they brought it back as a cartoon or a CGI thing. I think that there's a lot of potential there because, like I said, I enjoyed the cartoon. It wasn't great. It's not going to supplant Ninja Turtles or anything else, but I thought the designs of the character were cool. And if the story had actually been given some time to be fleshed out, I think it would have ended up being a fun show. Would have lasted a while, but
I guess for me, like at that age, right? So like again, 3 years, right? Makes a difference, 10 to 13. Just call it what it is.
Yep.
So Street Sharks never sounds so stupid. It never bit me the way it probably bit you. It just didn't do it for me. I had Turtles. So when Street Sharks came out, I'm like, okay. I mean, it's cool. But like the commercials annoyed me. They were like, Jossum. I'm like, okay, that's dumb. Like it didn't do it for me.
I would have been 10 when it came out, so you would have been almost 14.
Right.
And so, I mean, it does make a difference. But I don't know. I mean, lots of stuff was cartoony back then, right? Like I love Ninja Turtles, but shouting Cowabunga doesn't really make any more sense than shouting Jawsome. You know what? So it's kind of like,
I mean, it's
toy
okay to be wrong.
So the toy designs were cool.
So this is Jazz.
Okay.
Or Jezzy. So I mean, they did him so much justice. So see this right here with the speakers?
Yep.
That's one of his add-ons, his accessories. Then he's got his cannon, so like everything can be stored on him, his gun, and if you want to put his swords on, they go on his hips.
Okay.
I mean, he's just, God bless him, he's beautiful. So I ordered one. I did not order one to show. I just ordered one to go. And then it was funny because I was talking to, God, I'm itchy. I was talking to Johnny today, and on the way home, I was, coming home from one of my stores, go home for lunch. And I was talking to him about, Computron, and I'm like, I said, yeah, I couldn't help it, dude. I ordered the Jazz. And he goes, oh, the Bingo Toys Jazz. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking cool. And he goes, dude, I love that thing. He goes, I want one. He's like, I just don't want to spend the $100 right now. And then I'm telling you, watching the review, by the time it's done, Psycho, you're just like, I need to buy that fucking thing.
Yeah. And see, I guess this goes back to what we were talking about. I was lucky because I had older cousins and they love Transformers. And one of my cousins had every G1 Transformer, right? Like he probably still does somewhere. I don't talk to him anymore, but I never really got into Transformers. I would watch it if people were watching it. I knew who the characters were, but it took Beast Wars, right? When I was 12 for me to actually be interested in Transformers. And so I feel the same way that you do with that Jazz figure with the Masterpiece Beast Wars figures that we've looked at before. Every time I've seen one of those, I want it. Yeah. I want the Optimus Primal, but I can't bring myself to spend the money they're asking. And that's kind of what it comes down to. So,
and I think that's what I like about what Bingo Toys is producing. Again, third-party Transformers. If you're a Transformers buyer, and what do you call it? Ice Spark, if he was on, he'd be on it all day.
Yep.
If you are purchasing third-party Transformers, fourth-party, whatever, you've got your stereotypical, you've got your Magic Square, you've got your Unique Toys, you got your Zeta Toys. Really, the top three you hear about more than anything. Dr. Wu, if you want smaller scale, but those are primarily the ones you hear about. And so Bingo, I never heard of. Johnny said he's heard of them before. There's nothing on the website where I go, and maybe he has, but there's nothing on the website that I go to, TF Safari or TF Source. Neither one of them have an extensive, inventory of Bingo toys.
Yeah.
And when this one got put out for Computron, I was immediately hooked. I'm like, all right. And I went and looked, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm getting to Computron. And then when I saw the reviews for Jazz, I was just like, holy crap. I love their take on the Transformers. They make them, they're very anime style, but they're also very solid and gritty. They don't come across like a flimsy, cheap toy. Like I don't have to pay $300 to get quality. I pay $100. Jazz is $98. So I pay $98 and you get a sick ass version of Jazz.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good about it, man. I'm just talking them up. They're like my new passion right now.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't know. I know you're probably not interested in it, but the new toys for the Mario Brothers movie coming out, I think look cool. I like the ones they did for the first movie a couple of years ago, or the first CG movie, and then they're doing more for the movie coming out in April. And I bought my daughter all of the ones from the first movie because she absolutely loves the movie.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna have to get them again. She's already talking about the new movie coming out. So, but they look good. I mean, I like them.
I mean, so Damien was all about it. We went and saw the movie in the theaters, and it was great. Yep. I enjoyed it. I really did. It was a great movie. And then, they when they announced the second one, we're watching the trailers already with Yoshi, And I love how Toad is just like, whoever wrote Toad's dialogue for both movies, just it's on the head. It's done so damn well. You just hear how like disgruntled he is, like, cool, this guy's just part of the group now. That's fine. Like everybody's cool with that. And it's kind of funny because you're like, that's kind of how they introduced Yoshi. It just had to be like, yeah, Yoshi's cool. He's here.
Nintendo.
But yeah, it's good stuff, and it's quality entertainment for the kids. And as an adult, there isn't anybody on the planet who doesn't know who Super Mario is.
Yep.
So it's great. They did a great job altogether. Oh, so Tim just brought something up that I wanted to bring up. I always wanted the Unicron, still one of my dreams to own. I agree. I do not have HasLab Unicron. I know you guys think that I buy anything and everything, but I refuse to spend $2,500 on a 36-inch Unicron when I have seen him go for $1,000, $1,200, what have you. I will wait until I see it. I will buy it when it makes sense. That is the one thing that I have been smart enough to not be an idiot about, and purchase when it makes sense.
Why didn't you get it originally?
I never knew that it came out. I had no knowledge of Hasbro Pulse, which I'm surprised how many people don't. So I would have never known to buy one. So Johnny had actually messaged me something that, let me refresh myself what he had sent me. It's about Unicron. Un momento, por favor. Okay. Hasbro is, for the Transformers, the anniversary of Transformers, the movie. People in the Transformers groups are speculating that Hasbro is going to release a new Unicron figure. It will not be HasLab scale, right? Because they wouldn't do that anyway. That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Unless they took their HasLab mold, right? Reused it and maybe did like color variation, something different. But they're talking about doing a Unicron, or I guess it's been speculated they're doing a Unicron for the Transformers, the movie anniversary. So you know how that usually works. If there's enough people talking about it, chances are it's probably what's happening, for the most part. Not always, but
yeah.
Because what else would you do for the anniversary other than, you're going to give me another Optimus and a Megatron nobody wants? There's already 1,000 of those. The one thing everybody's been bitching about is that I can't get a Unicron. Why don't I have a Unicron? I need a Unicron.
Yeah.
So it's very possible they could do a Unicron, and it might be, like a 24-incher, right? Like the Titans. It could be a 24-inch Unicron. Although everything in my brain says Hasbro could capitalize and make the most profit on just redoing HasLab Unicron and doing some kind of coloration or something. You can still charge $500 for it. People will pay it. They will buy it. And there you go.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know why they just wouldn't re-release the HasLab as it is. You know what I mean? They're not losing anything from that.
They're absolutely not. They'll sell out as soon as they come out.
Exactly. And that's the thing I don't understand about locking things behind. So, like Hot Toys, they're going back and doing some of their, most wanted figures from early in their run, and they're just calling them 2.0. They're updating things. They're making things a little bit better, but ultimately it's the same figure, just with, slightly better articulation or whatever else. The dog is barking.
Oh.
And so he's in the room with my wife, and my dad is in the kitchen, and the dog is unhappy that he's locked up.
I was going to say, I'm like, your wife's voice just got really deep.
No, my dad is still visiting because my daughter's birthday is this weekend. So
happy birthday.
Thank you. But no, Hot Toys sells out. Like, I'm waiting. I've gotten everything I wanted that Hot Toys has done, but I want them to re-release the Christopher Reeve Superman. That's the figure that, in my opinion, needs a 2.0. Now that the sculpts have gotten better and everything else.
In the wheelchair?
No.
Sorry. I watched a lot of South Park. So.
But because I have the original Christopher Reeve Superman from Hot Toys. If they were to release a new one, it would be so much better.
So does he look like, Superman 1, 2, 3? Does he look like that Christopher Reeve? Like his face is good?
Yeah, I mean, I'll grab it if you want to look at it.
Oh, I like the way that came out, but sure.
Give me a second.
Yeah. What do we got here? Marcus. Yeah, man. I don't know. Are you talking about Transformers, the movie, like the animated, or are you talking about with Megan Fox? Because I'd Megan her Fox if she's coming back in the theaters. She was good in Subservient, if you haven't seen that. And then where are we at here? Tim, yeah, man. Yeah, you should have. I have an extra original Trypticon in my stash of crap. The Trypticon re-release, I did eventually sell because I got it at a premium, so I sold at a premium kind of thing. But yeah. I am burping up dinner. That is not normal. That was a terrible fucking movie. Terrible movie. And then I watched the preview for the second one, and I was like, who the hell signed off on this?
So, this is the first Hot Toys Christopher Reeve figure. There you can see the face.
Holy shit, that's like spot on, man.
Yeah. I also have the evil Superman from Superman 3. That one is posed and it's a little more difficult to take off. This one I just have standing, but they did a really good job with his face sculpt. From certain angles. Other angles, it doesn't look as good. Like he looks derpy there, right? Like, but if you look at certain angles, they got the eyes right, the face right, the suit is correct. You got the leather boots here, right? The way they put everything together, like it's a great figure. But I know that if they were to redo it, it would come out looking even better, like the Michael Keaton 2.0 '89 Batman. A lot of people didn't like the texturing that they put on the suit, but it didn't bother me. The first release, the suit was the suit was smooth. The second one had a texture on it that was allegedly it was more accurate to what was actually on film, but people just didn't see it in the film, the texture. But I don't know.
I only have the like I've said before, I only own the Venom and Carnage Hot Toys, and I literally they look cool back in the box. Like I didn't open them. I had nowhere to put them anyway. But that's great. That's a phenomenal rendition of him. I think that looks great. They even gave him a little gratuitous package. Listen, call it what it is, man. Christopher Reeve was packing. So
this was actually my first Hot Toys figure.
It's a great figure. It looks cool.
Yeah, I got it, and I got the special edition as well. I wasn't able to order it when it came out, and so it was almost a year later. I got it, and I was able to get the special edition where they have the kryptonite necklace from the first movie.
Yeah,
but for me, even after all these years, Christopher Reeve is still Superman. When I think Superman, that's the first face I see. It's the first voice I hear.
So I've watched the old serials, man. I used to watch the with my brother because God bless my brother, dude. He was way ahead of his time. He watched all the old Batman serials, all the old Superman serials. These big fat guys in these suits, you know, made to look like they're buff, but they're really just big fat dudes.
Yep.
I mean, Batman was like, should have stopped eating a while ago, but he was like, I'm big, huge, I'm Batman, I'm strong. And it's like, nah, man, you gotta lay off the bread. Like,
the first Superman was Kirk Allen. He was the one that did the serials. Then you had George Reeves, and then you had Christopher Reeve.
There's a movie with Ben Affleck, and I can't remember what it is.
Hollywoodland.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Yeah,
I don't want to dive too far into it, but just to because we're talking about Superman.
Yeah.
That was a great movie, telling his story or what have you. So, on the subject of Hot Toys, do you ever wonder why they don't do Muppets?
Um, I mean, I wonder why they don't do a lot of things, to be honest.
Yeah.
But Muppets is not at the top of my list.
So, I could definitely see myself if they said, "Hey, we're gonna make a Hot Toys Electric Mayhem set," or "We're gonna make a Hot Toys, Kermit and Piggy," or they want to do Gonzo and Fozzie, or they want to do Rizzo and one of the chickens. Um, I just there's a lot of Muppets, and yes, it'd be very cool to have them all. But if they were going to do a core lineup, I think they could probably get away with about 20 characters, and you could have the core Muppets you saw in every movie that were the substantial characters,
Yep.
as opposed to doing all of them, like Boomerang Fish Guy and I can't remember all their names, but I just find it kind of weird that that's one Hot Toys hasn't knocked on the door of yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want Hot Toys to make anything right now because they're killing me.
Yeah.
I just got three Hot Toys figures in that I ordered at like completely different times the past 2 years, and they all came in on the same day. Right. So
What'd you get?
I got the T800 2.0, so the Arnold from Terminator 2,
Okay.
but not the battle damage one because I don't like that one. It's just the way he looks at the beginning of the film. I got the anti-venom Spider-Man from the Spider-Man 2 video game. So the white suit to go with the black suit.
Do you have it handy?
I mean, I haven't opened it yet. It's still sealed in the box, but it's in the other room.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then I got the Superman from the most recent movie
With Henry Cable?
No, the newer guy. I forget his name, but the one that came out last year, 2025.
I didn't watch it. The one with Crypto?
Yes.
I didn't watch it. I do still need. I bring it up every fucking time. I do still need the Venom from the game. That big giant Venom just looks so fucking cool.
It is.
But I need that.
The problem with it is how to display it. That's where I'm at now. I'm gonna have to build an acrylic box to put over it because it's so tall. So
I need. Do they do the Goblin?
They've done 2.
Not the movie. I don't want the movie Goblin.
Oh no, then no.
Oh no, I want a Hobgoblin. I want a Green Goblin. I'd love to have Mysterio. Would be badass.
The movie Mysterio figure they did was actually great. I missed out on it, and it wasn't expensive or anything. I just didn't have it when it came out, and then it sold out immediately, and I just couldn't find it.
Shit, I can't think of that now. Which movie was Mysterio in?
The second one, the second Tom Holland one.
Who played Mysterio?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
I for some reason in my head I keep thinking about Spider-Man. He's like in a clock tower or something. He's talking to him. He's like, okay, all right. Yeah. I gotta go back and rewatch it. I love Tom Holland. I think he's a great Spider-Man.
That Mysterio figure that Hot Toys did was actually incredibly cool. But like I said, I missed out on it. But they did 2 versions of Green Goblin. They did the Green Goblin for No Way Home. They did the Green Goblin from the original Tobey Maguire movie in that suit with that glider. And then they did the Goblin as he appeared in No Way Home, which kind of had elements of the first movie Goblin suit, and they made it kind of new. I got Doc Ock from that movie, and I got Electro from that movie. I wanted to get Mysterio, but like I said, I missed out on him. And then when I found him in a store, I didn't have the money for him. And then I missed out on the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I have the Tom Holland Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield from No Way Home I wanted to get. I had it, but it was waitlisted, and I never cleared the wait list. So
I think I'm one of the few people that absolutely loves Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
I don't know. It's difficult for me because personally, I think that Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker. Spider-Man was okay. He was the best Peter Parker. I like the elements that they changed for the film, right? So I've always thought that the web shooters were a real weak point in the Spider-Man mythos, because there's this idea that Peter Parker is poor. But if you could make tiny machinery like that could do those things, you would not be poor, right? And that would not be using his powers for his own benefit. It would be using his intelligence, and he absolutely would have invented stuff and made money off of it. So I've always thought the web shooters were a very weak plot device, and it was only to give villains like a leg up, right? Because if he could do all these things and he knew when the villains were going to attack, he'd pretty much be unbeatable. So early on, it was like, well, how do we kind of reduce his power? Oh, well, we're going to make it so he has to have web shooters. He can run out of web fluid, and that's really going to make it difficult for him. So I've always thought that was kind of a weak point to the story. So I love the fact that the original trilogy got rid of the web shooters, and it was just organic webbing, which I thought worked.
But you have to you got to separate that, because Garfield is more Amazing Spider-Man only because of the web shooters, right? Because he had the aftermarket web shooters. Same thing with Holland having the aftermarket web shooters, because Holland's oh my God, Garfield's character, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me. We did this last time, and they all run together, and I'm like, Garfield is actually supposed to be Spectacular Spider-Man because of the Lizard being his first person that he takes on, if I'm not mistaken. And so him having the fake web shooters, or whatever the hell it is, he should have actually had real webbing in his hands, not fake ones.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, they combine the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Look it up, because I'm totally...
Well, no. I'm just...
I'm not being funny. I really can't. It's so hard to remember between the two series.
No. I think that they're doing exactly what you say. And again, I think this is what Tim is cool story, bro, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with Tim. I thought Andrew was a great Spider-Man and a terrible Peter Parker. He was very unbelievable.
Why do you like him as Peter Parker? Too edgy?
No, I mean, the edginess was part of it, but Peter Parker was never cool, ever. He was never cool.
Right.
And they went out of their way to show that this Peter Parker is actually cool. And the only one who doesn't like him is Flash, right? That's the only person that makes fun of him in the movie is Flash. But even then, Flash isn't mean to him the way that Flash is actually mean to him in comics. He's more of a rival to Flash, which is why Flash is mean. It's not that Flash is the jock and the cool guy and Peter is the nerd like it is in every other iteration. In the Andrew Garfield movies, they made it where Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker was almost a rival of Flash Thompson, that people liked him. I mean, Peter's not walking through the hallway with a skateboard strapped to his backpack. He's not playing basketball. He's not doing all of those things. He's not standing up to Flash Thompson. So, like, in the very beginning of the movie, you see the interaction where Flash is trying to make a kid eat food off the ground. And Peter's like, put him down, Flash. Put him down, Flash. Peter would never do that. But then after he doesn't listen a couple times, Peter's like, put him down, Eugene. Like, Peter would have never, ever done that in the comics. It was so out of character, but they didn't want him to appear weak and timid because then he wouldn't be cool. And I thought that ruined it. But in addition to that, in my opinion at least, the movie was just narratively a mess, right? Like, they didn't know what they wanted to do. They were making things different just so that they would be different, in my opinion.
I'm wrong. I don't say that very often, but so Spectacular Spider-Man, which is what Garfield was based off of,
okay,
did have web shooters. He did not have his own webbing. And he had Gwen. That's a huge differentiation right there. Amazing has Mary Jane. Spectacular has Gwen. Which my question is, where the hell does Black Cat fall into that?
She was always part of the part of the mythos, right? Like before Peter got together with Mary Jane, he was interested in Felicia Hardy, and Felicia Hardy ends up becoming Black Cat.
Yes, she does.
And Felicia Hardy wanted nothing to do with Peter, but fell in love with Spider-Man. So there's always this tension because she didn't know that Peter was Spider-Man, but Peter knew that she was Black Cat. So it was just kind of one of those things that went on. And so again, back to what I was saying is I think that Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man. And I say that because he looked the part, but he also played the part, right? Tobey Maguire didn't really make a lot of wisecracks while he was Spider-Man and while he was fighting. Andrew Garfield was constantly making wisecracks, constantly belittling his opponents, constantly, doing all these things to enrage them, which is what Spider-Man would do to kind of knock his opponents off their game. And you never saw that in the first trilogy. Well, not never. It happened once or twice, but not to any significance. And the Andrew Garfield movies, he did that all the time. But I think that overall, the best depiction of the character would have to be Tom Holland, right? He plays both parts equally well, in my opinion. And it kind of makes his version, his depiction better.
I'll give you that. So Maguire is more the Amazing Spider-Man. He's not written to be as humorous as the other one, right? He's written to be a little more serious, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good Peter Parker. I can't get past the way his face looks when he talks. It sounds terrible, but it's like he's got a lisp, but he doesn't have a lisp. He's always just like, "Oh, hey, Mary Jane." Like I can't get past it. Where I understand what everybody's saying with Andrew Garfield. I don't necessarily care for his character outside of being Spider-Man. I love him as Spider-Man. He's got a very Deadpool, wise-assy kind of like thing where it's like, that's cool. That's the Spider-Man I like. Where, like you said, Spider-Man is like, he's fucking with everybody, because that's how he gets, like you said, he gets one over on the enemy, and then he can pull whatever he wants to do. But they kept doing that with him. And so Garfield, the whole time, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, is this dude going to be shut up for a minute and be Spider-Man? Or is he just going to like crack jokes every 20 seconds because he wants to make out with fucking Gwen Stacy? Gwen.
Yes, it was Gwen Stacy. Yes.
So, and whatever. I still enjoyed the movies. I think they did a great job with this. Maybe not his character, but the story with his villains that he fought was very true to the comics. Nothing was weird or embellished. And then when Gwen Stacy falls and he tries to save her, and when she snaps her back, spoiler alert, I guess, people, if you haven't seen it by now, but I like that because it's very true to the comic and it was very cool and I enjoyed that. That sounds terrible to say, but it was I felt it was very true to the comic.
I did.
And then
that was, to be honest, the whole reason I don't like the Amazing Spider-Man movies is I think that narratively they destroyed the depiction of Spider-Man. I don't think that they did anything right. I think that the first movie, they were so concerned, as I said a minute ago, they were so concerned about making it different from the previous trilogy that they didn't stop to think about whether or not things fit together. And then they didn't stop to worry about how a story should be told, right? So
a story or the story?
Both.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead. So, like, I'll give you an
English. So fine. Go ahead.
I'll give you an example.
Of course you will.
The movie starts off with Peter losing his parents, right? Like they go through this whole thing of making Peter's parents actual people, and then they're killed, right? You don't know what happens to them. It doesn't show them, but they're there and they're gone.
I thought it was in an alley with the Joker or something. I don't know. Go ahead.
Then he loses Uncle Ben. And then you see him developing this relationship with Kirk Connors, right? Which is right from the comics, is fine. And then you see him developing a relationship with Captain Stacy. And so his parents are gone. His dad's gone. Uncle Ben is gone. Then they take away Kirk Connors as a mentor for him because obviously they had to turn him into the Lizard and they had to make it dramatic enough where Peter wants to save him, but also no longer trusts him. And then they thought that they were going to fix that lack of trust by just having the lizard actually catch Peter as he's falling off the roof, which didn't do a damn thing because Peter would have saved himself. But they build up this tension between him and Captain Stacy for them to come to this understanding. And then in the last 10 minutes of the movie, they throw away Captain Stacy's death, right? They have the lizard kill him, and it kind of throws away the impact of that moment. Whereas if they did not kill Captain Stacy there, but instead had some big fight at the beginning of the second movie, which everybody knew was coming, and have Captain Stacy die there, and then tell him, hey, you got to leave my daughter alone. You got to leave her out of this. Then that whole movie could have been him talking about how he made a promise, blah, blah, blah. But instead, the movie starts with him and Gwen distanced, and then her like, I know my dad made you promise not to, see me or whatever. It's like, narratively speaking, in my opinion, had they saved the death of Captain Stacy at the beginning of the second movie and then had him killed, it would have been more impactful because he'd already lost 3 male mentors in this movie. And you throw in the last one in the last 10 minutes of the film and it wastes it. It just, you build this relationship up and you waste it in 10 minutes. You don't explore the dynamic. You don't show them, working together with any level of significance. Whereas you could have started the movie with the police showing up, Captain Stacy moving in, Spider-Man showing up, them coordinating how it was going to go. And then something goes wrong. Captain Stacy gets hit, hurt, whatever it is. It ends up killing him the same way it did at the end of the first movie. And he's like, Peter, you got to promise to leave Gwen out of this. Leave her alone. And then they deal with that in the movie. But it's also, you said Gwen's death didn't bother you because they stuck to kind of how they did it in the film. But I would argue that that's not, or in the comic, but that's not true either. Peter can't save her in the comic. She dies. She hits the ground, right? It's not that Peter was an asshole and couldn't save her.
He's still at fault for her death.
Not in the comics. She's kidnapped. He's rescuing a bunch of people, right? So like he had to make a choice in the comics. It was very similar with the Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. He presents a choice: save her or save them. That's how Gwen Stacy dies in the comics. Peter makes the choice not to choose himself, but to choose others, right? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, thinking that when he saved them, he could
or
go
the one,
right? And then it doesn't work out. But in this movie, in the second Andrew Garfield movie, he's acting like a jerk. He's overly cocky. He thinks that he can do anything. And then he saves her. He thinks, but we're talking a guy who's a genius, right? Like they just spent 2 movies showing us that he's an absolute genius. He's smarter than all these scientists. And he doesn't understand that inertia is not going to allow him to stop Gwen fast enough. And so her neck smacks back when he grabs her with the...
But that was desperation on his part.
But it was desperation from a position he put himself in by acting like an asshole. Right? Like, he could have done that fight differently, and he didn't because he was a cocky, arrogant jerk. And then he tries to save her with the web, and it doesn't work. It snaps her neck and she dies immediately. Right? And so it sucks. Like, it was a shitty moment. You feel bad for him, but it was also kind of a moment that he created on his own. Whereas in the comics, he didn't have a choice. Do I save this group of people because there's more of them and it's important? Or do I make the selfish choice and save the person I care about and not all these people? And so in the comics, it's a choice. It's like, that's why I hated the way that Jonathan Kent died in Man of Steel, right? It robbed the character of a pivotal moment. If you don't remember, there's a tornado coming and Jonathan Kent is saving people and the tornado's barreling down and Clark looks over at him and he puts his hand up like this and shakes his head no because he doesn't want Clark to come and save him and risk showing that he's got powers. But anybody that knows anything about Superman, he could have run over there, grabbed his father, and ran over somewhere else away from the tornado so that he didn't, all of a sudden his father was over there and now over here. He could have taken him somewhere else quickly and gotten back before anybody realized anything was going on. And he didn't do it. And he didn't do it because his father was afraid. Jonathan Kent was afraid that people would see he had powers. And the whole thing about Jonathan Kent in that movie was that he was afraid that people would find out he had powers, but it robbed that Superman. It robbed Henry Cavill's Superman of an important lesson that he's supposed to learn, that human life is fragile. And even with all his powers, he can't save everyone, which is why in every other version of the mythos, Jonathan Kent dies from a heart attack, right? And in some instances, Superman actually watches the heart attack going on with his X-ray vision, but he can't do anything, right? And that's what the Spider-Man moment was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be with Gwen Stacy's death. Sometimes you make a choice and you can't do anything about it, right? Human life is incredibly fragile, and you can't stop everything from happening no matter how hard you try, no matter how much power you have. And it's like, it felt like such a wasted moment the way that Gwen was killed, because it really, and I went back and watched it recently because people had told me, I had some kind of conversation like, oh no, the movie's actually good. I went back and watched it. I didn't think it was good. And that moment still bothers me because it's so out of character for Peter not to consider science, right? Like, Peter's constantly figuring out the angles. He's constantly working out the math in his head when he's fighting. Okay, if I do this is going to happen. And you just see Peter like nonchalantly, oh, no, it's cool. I'm going to thwip her and catch her with my web, and I'm not going to pay attention at all to inertia or anything else.
You're very passionate about this whole thing.
Because I think that the journey of the character is important, right? Like, this idea that the hero has to experience certain things to become the hero that they're supposed to be. And it's like when a writer for a movie gets that wrong, in certain instances, it ruins the movie for me, right? Like, Jonathan Kent is supposed to teach Clark how to be human and teach him that helping people is more important than protecting himself, right? Like, you have gifts, you're supposed to help people, and he's supposed to learn from Jonathan's death that he can't save everybody. It doesn't matter how much power he has. And the moment of Gwen Stacy's death is supposed to teach Peter that life is hard, right? And you have to make decisions, and sometimes you have to make decisions that go against what you want. And we saw that in the second Tobey Maguire movie, right? Like, he loses his powers because
he's a tool. Sorry.
Well, I mean, because he can't deal with the fact that things aren't going the way he wants them to go. And it's like that stress eats at him until he can't like function properly.
Psycho, let's back up for a second.
Yeah.
So have a Skittles or something. Hold on a minute. So I listen, man, I love your passion for most things. I think it's cool, but I want to throw something out there. This is very like left field, only because of how much I just heard you talk more than anything. I've heard you talk in a long time. So this is very off subject and very left field, but at the same time, I think it's perfect for the situation we're having right now.
Okay.
Toys or not, I think this is great. So every Thanksgiving, I write a short story to my two friends that I've known since, God knows when.
Okay.
And it's always for Thanksgiving. And it's the silliest story. And it's written like goddamn Lord of the Rings. And I write it in an email and I text it to them. And I do it every year without fail. I've done it every year without fail for over 10 years. When I used to be married, probably Damien's going to be 11 or going to be 12. So probably 10 years ago, I had paid for my ex at the time to go to England with her family. And so I had the kids for a week. And so I wrote short stories about Damien as a baby. I I called him the demon. He feasts on the milk of the cow. Like I wrote everything like he is this big crazy creature that we all have to entertain. I called Gianna, my daughter, the village idiot, because she would entertain him
Okay.
and keep him entertained, so he would not slaughter us, and so that we may feed him to the point of filling, and he would slumber. Like I wrote a whole short story.
Yeah.
So there's something to this. So I write the stories to my friends, and I'm listening to you talk, and all I can think in my head is as much of an opinion as you have, the way people write movies, the way they may interpret characters, or the way they may do characters for certain movies, and what have you. I've always said, and I've been told this, and it is what it is, I'm not being modest or anything, but that I should write stories. I should write, whether it be children's books, whether it be short stories that are stupid, whatever. I should write stories because my brain's there and put it on paper.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought to stop and say, I don't like the way they did this, this, or this? Have you ever stopped to think and for yourself, Psycho, and write a book or a story?
Not seriously, no.
So why not? Because obviously you have an opinion about most things that we talk. And I'm not being funny. I'm not poking.
No.
So you have an opinion about most things, and that's fine. I appreciate people with opinion versus sheep. I'm not a sheep person. I'd rather somebody be combative, and it sounds weird. I don't mean combative in a negative sense.
I get it.
I don't like people who just say yes. I like somebody that gives me an objection, and then you give me meat and potatoes behind it, which you always do.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that, man. I love combating with you, I guess you could call it. And so with as much of an opinion as you have about some of the things we talk about, and in my opinion, most times it's valid. Sometimes I'm like, all right, will you shut up? Like, move on to something else. But most of what you have is very valid. So in my head, I'm like, he could probably write either you could be a reviewer of movies if you wanted to and break them down, or a connoisseur, even books, right? I've read plenty of books where, I know it's weird that I would read a book, but I've read plenty of books. I like to read books of movies because I love how different they are from the movie.
Agreed. Yeah.
Batman, Jaws.
Yep.
Top 3 I've read, right? Batman, Jaws, to sound really stupid, but Jurassic Park is written so different.
Yeah.
I've read that 5 times in the book.
Yeah.
Versus the movie, because first of all, they reverse it. Lex is the boy, the age or whatever, and Tim is the, older, like the girl.
Yeah.
Great job. Phenomenal. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting off subject, but go ahead, please. You know what I mean. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, so I think part of it is everybody kind of has their own gifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our group of friends, the writer is absolutely Che. Che has this just complete spirit of creativity and imaginative ways of putting stories together. I'm a lot of things. I am not very creative. I'm very analytical. I'm very logical, which is probably why I did so well in debate. And so if it were literary criticism, for instance, I could talk about literary criticism. Absolutely. Reviewing a movie, reviewing toys, I could absolutely do that. My gift is talking, right? Like public speaking. You put me on a stage in front of a crowd, I'll talk to them forever. I'm not going to get intimidated. I'm not going to forget what to say or anything else. And so that's probably where my gift is. I think to write my own story would require a level of creativity that on my own, I probably couldn't obtain, right?
Sure.
I think that working with somebody else, right, like trying to get a story planned out and try to figure out what kind of characters we need and how it has to flow, I could be valuable. When it came down to actually like fleshing out the story, I don't know how much help I would be, right? And part of it is I know a lot of shit about a lot of shit. And a lot of people our generation do. And I have this conversation with my students all the time. They say things like, oh, Mr. Price, why is it you know so much about so much? And I tell them it's not special, right? There's nothing special about me. When I was growing up, we didn't have the internet.
Yep.
Right? I mean, and you know what that's like.
Yep.
The first smartphone didn't come out until I was 23 years old, right?
Yep.
You had the iPhone, first touchscreen smartphone, 2007. I was 23.
We were excited. Okay, so my first phone I got, my first cell phone, I was in 8th grade. So 94, 95 maybe, right? My parents, they had a little bit of money. So I had a freaking T-Mobile. Just all you could do was talk on it, and it had to be after 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And so when we were coming back from football games at 9 o'clock, people would be like, hey, Tony, can I borrow your phone and call my parents? I'd be like, yeah, here you go. Because it was after 9 o'clock. Didn't care. I'll be 8th grade. I was a drummer in band. So we were coming back from football games on a bus.
Yep.
And then I remember the first game, it was on my Nextel, or not my Nextel, my Nokia phone. And it was Snake. That's the only game you could play was Snake.
Yep.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, this will blow your mind. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 27.
Oof, ay Dios mío.
Yep. I had no desire to get one, and I got one because I was getting ready to take my students on a field trip my first year teaching to a debate tournament, and we were going to be gone for 4 days. And my principal's like, hey, I looked at all the paperwork. Everything is good. Everything is set. We're ready to go, but you didn't put your cell phone number on there. And I was like, I don't have one. He was like, what are you talking about? You don't have one. And I said, I don't have a cell phone. He's like, you have to have a cell phone. You're gonna take these kids out of the county. Like, you need to have a phone. And I said, the hotel will have a phone, the tournament will have a phone, there's pay phones. And he's like, I'm putting a sub in your room. You are going to leave right now and go get yourself a phone. And he's like, I'm not even gonna charge you a sick day. Leave now and go.
Like, damn it, Bryce, get a phone.
So I was 27 years old. I was in my first year teaching. It was October, and that's when I got my first cell phone. But
that is hilarious.
Yeah, it's just, so I tell them, I said, when I was growing up, if I needed to learn something, if I had to know something, I'd go to an encyclopedia, right? And so encyclopedias were made to be resources, but they were made to have you read them.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah. And so I would tell them, you'd open the encyclopedia volume and you'd start flipping the pages to get to where you needed it. And inevitably something would catch your eye and you'd look at a picture and start reading about it. And that's how it happened. I said, the closest you guys ever get to that is watching a video on YouTube and then not skipping it or stopping it when it plays the next video. So I didn't have the luxury, and you didn't have the luxury of going to Google, typing in your specific question and getting an answer, which may or may not be right? And that's why we have the knowledge base that we have. But also think, I think it's important for people to know where their strengths are and where their weaknesses are, right? And when it comes to writing a book, while I think that linguistically the book would be fine.
I love Linguini.
I don't know that it would be anything that someone
would want
to read, right? People have asked me, oh, why don't you write movie scripts? And that's something that I've thought about, because I wouldn't have to put all the dialogue in there, right? I wouldn't have to flesh it out. I could put stilted dialogue. I can have, and then, people could look at, oh, well, this dialogue would be better if it was like this. And so that's something I've considered. But I mean, I just like to talk about stuff, right? Which is why when Chris asked me if I wanted to do the podcast years ago, when we first started it, I was super excited about it. It just came at a bad time, right? Like I just had a child, like, so that was complicated. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. I couldn't meet specifically because my daughter had health problems when she was first born. And so that was kind of taking up a lot of my bandwidth. And so it fizzled out. But now that we were older and Chris is like, hey, what do you think about Collector's Hideout and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, it'd be great. And I'd been talking to him for years. I'm like, let's do a review show. Let's do like all these different things. And it gave me the opportunity to be involved. And then you gave me the opportunity to be involved. So I enjoy talking about stuff.
Well, I like having you on. So it's funny because whenever my girlfriend Corinne, Rebel Girl, whenever she watches, she goes, oh, how do you talk to Psycho? And I said, I'm fine with it. I'm listen, I'm a talker, right? I am through and through. I'm a talker.
Yep.
And as far as like the stories and all that stuff, absolutely I could write stories. Um I just don't have like the ambition to want to do it. I have fun doing it for my friends. And I like writing it to be humorous. But could I make a career out of it? Yeah, probably. But then I think it would the fun would go away. It'd become a job, and that's not what I want. But I like talking to people that challenge me. I don't like talking to somebody who's so like same thing with team members I have when it's yes sir, no sir. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, will you stop saying yes sir to me? I get it's a sign of respect, but I'm like, just talk. I'm just a person. I'm no different than you. You know, I might come in different times. I might get paid differently. I have different things, you know, that I'm responsible for. But at the end of the day, we're both people. I just happen to be in different positions. So just talk to me like I'm a person. So like my drivers, which not to downgrade them at all because they are our backbone. I'm sorry, they work hard, harder than anybody else. But in the totem pole, they're at the bottom.
Yeah.
So when I walk into a store and I got drivers that are like, "What's up, Mr. Tony?" and I'm like, you know, like I got I don't want to give names, but I'll say it because nobody probably knows him. But I'll be like, guy, I got one of my drivers named Rennell. And I'm like, Rennell, what's up, dude? What's going on? How's your kids, man? How's everything going? What's everything going? Oh, Mr. Tony, I'm doing good. They're doing good. Thanks for asking. The kids are good. Blah, blah, blah. I make sure to talk to all my team members. I don't have a I'm holier than thou attitude with any of them.
Yeah.
They can call me, text me. I give them all my number whenever I do something called the PT Rodeo, and which is all my drivers. They call it PT Rodeo. They hate that name, but we bring them all together and they do like, you know, a little contest, do a driving test, do a written test. And if they win, they go next finals or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, and I take them out for a really awesome lunch and I let them order whatever they want, order appetizers. Man, you want to order a meal to go home. Like, and these guys don't make a lot of money. So some of these cats will go on there and they'll be like, "Hey man, can I order like a meal to take home?" I'm like, "Yeah, take one home, dude." What you don't realize is they're feeding their kids or their wife that meal.
Yep.
And I'm cool with that. Go ahead, man. So like we'll take them to lunch and I'll let them order whatever they want. And I'll take them somewhere like Outback or something that they don't get to go to.
Yep.
And they'll order like kings, man. And they go home and they just feel awesome because they got this huge meal and they don't have to pay for it. But these guys work hard for me and I respect that. So anyway, just to kind of put it in perspective. So I enjoy talking to people who are very like-minded, but I like the challenge. I want people to challenge what I'm saying, even if it makes me mad. If I'm mad when we're done, you did a good job. Because I'm like, motherfucker, he got one on me. Because I'm competitive too. I'm not a sports person, but I come from a business of fighting for numbers and fighting to be the best. And so I will do what I have to do to be on top. And so I love chasing the people in front of me and I love fighting the people that are with me. But ultimately, man, I like people. I'm a good person, but I enjoy writing those stories. And I like the fact, Psycho, that you are very intuitive. And I think you could absolutely be involved in something much more beyond what you do with us here. I just don't think you found the right outlet yet. I think, you know, if I was writing stories, I'd throw them by you and be like, tell me what you think. So...
yeah, our friend Che does that, and it's the joke of our group because Che's been writing for years, and his stories are always good, and he gets partway through them, and then he just stops, and then he won't do anything, and then he'll start a new one. And the only time I've ever actually been frustrated by him, he used to write wrestling stories, right? Like where he would try to write a program, like introducing characters and then have feuds and everything else, like the writers for the actual
show. A TV show, honestly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And when I first started teaching, one of the subs that was there before me, I got to meet him and talk to him, and he actually was a writer for WWE for like 7 years. Wow. And I told him about my friend who, you know, wrote these stories like, hey man, send me some of this stuff because if I can get it and I think it's good, I can pass it on to people and there might be an opportunity for him. And I remember I was so excited. I told him, I'm like, hey, he's like, I don't want you sending any of my stuff. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, send this stuff. Oh, no. And it was a very George McFly moment, right? Well, what if he says it's no good? It's like, who cares? If he says it's no good, move on to something else. But if he says it's good, it might open a door for you. And of course, nothing ever came of it. But
That's crazy. So I gotta. Oh God, I'm gonna address him. Tim, didn't we just have something in the chat about this kind of stuff? You can't be instigating it. I get it. It's funny. I want to say something back, but you're causing so many problems. So we talked about Hasbro with the turtles. No, not turtles. Voltron.
Voltron. Yep.
Mattel. Did we talk about Mattel-ish? I guess
with the turtle license. Yep. For 27, 28, you said.
Yeah, I guess my only thing with that is that they're going to be Truffy, really? So my ice is melting, and there's a bucket of water now. Truffy's drinking the water. I guess my thing with Mattel, and tell me if I'm wrong, but they do Hot Wheels. They do the Motu. They did the Motu crossover turtles, if I'm not mistaken. So are we going to continue that line, or are they going to remake that line to different figures? Are we going to get a bunch of shitty Mattel Hot Wheels we don't care about? Are we going to get more wrestling turtles? I hope not. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
What else Mattel make? Barbie.
Barbie.
They don't do the wrestling.
They do like the
kids toys, little kids toys.
They do that.
They do little people, right?
I don't know if they do little people. They do those girls dolls. I just don't remember what they are, what they're called.
Not the Monster Highs.
It's what?
Not the Monster High.
Yes, they do Monster High.
Okay, so Monster High has been awesome. Everything they've put out has been really cool. So if they did Turtles Monster High, I don't know how that would work other than maybe making an April. That's it.
Yeah. So they do Barbie, American Girl, Monster High, Polly Pocket, Masters of the Universe, and Disney Princess. They also do WWE. They do Mega Bloks, or now it's just Mega. They do Disney, Warner Brothers, Pixar, and Minecraft toys.
So trash, ultimately, not being funny.
Yeah, they do Uno and Skip-Bo and Pictionary and other games.
Okay, so ultimately, Psycho, we're talking about we're probably going to get more wrestling crossover. We're probably going to get the Motu thing's going to pick back up. We're not going to get Disney Princess because there's nothing there to do with turtles.
Nope.
We're probably going to get I hate it, but we're going to get more like Hot Wheels oriented stuff, turtles.
Yep.
And we're probably going to get more Motu, which I'm fine with if they don't deviate from what they did, because what was printed already with Mattel and Motu crossover was great figures.
Yeah.
And if they keep that going in that quality, I'm down for it. Like, dude, give me a lair that looks like Castle Grayskull. I think that'd be cool.
I'm not excited. I wanted to be, but I remember I had an initial excitement when Mattel first started making Ghostbusters toys based on the movies, right? Back in like 2009. But the figures, I mean, I guess they were good at the time, but they never met expectations. The sculpts were weird. They would put out things that I didn't think that they needed to put out, and it just everybody outclassed them as soon as they were done with the line. And my worry is that that's what we're going to get for Turtles. They're going to make this line that's going to be very lackluster. And what are they going to base it on, right? Like, are they going to do? Are they going to go back and do the Turtle movies? Are they going to do the 87 cartoon? Are they going to like? And if they do the 87 cartoon, am I going to care? Because I have all the NECA ones behind me. I don't think I'm going to buy the 87 line again. Maybe the 4 Turtles if they're decent, but I can't imagine them putting anything out that's going to make me be like, ooh, because now you have NECA doing the 2012 line, and I love those figures so far. And I don't know what Mattel is going to do. I'm not overly excited for anything. They're not going to do the same style that Playmates did. So it's not like they're going to re-release anything. I just don't know how Mattel picking up Turtles is going to go.
I have a worry we could end up getting what happened with McFarlane and the Page Punchers. So I haven't bought any of those, and I know people are surprised. A lot of people are like, "Holy shit, Tony, you haven't bought these? Why haven't you bought those?" I'm sorry, but I'm finally wising up a little. Where I'm not going to continue to buy the same fucking figure in a different package.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but they're IDW figures that came in the loyal subjects packages all day long. It's the same damn figure.
Yep.
With the exception of the Bebop and the Rocksteady, because they're molded a little differently.
Yep.
It's the same fucking Turtles, and I can't bring myself. I just can't do it anymore. I bought them all. Look at my house. Like it's not like I'm not a fan. I buy everything. Yeah. And that's my problem. I was buying everything, and it got to the point where I'm just like, now I'm jaded. Somebody put something out, I'm like, well, cool, you just ripped off this dude's mold. Like, I can't do it anymore. It's stupid. I don't want 75 of the same damn figure on my shelf, in a box or not in a box. And so those Page Punchers came out. People keep texting me going, you're missing the boat. Why aren't you buying these? Why aren't you buying these? I'm sorry. Loyal Subjects already did it with IDW. McFarlane is late to the party. All they're doing is remaking that mold. The only thing they might put out that I might buy, and it's going to kill me because I'm a completist, I'm going to buy a Slash because that's my favorite character. Yeah. So I will buy Slash in any adaptation. I don't care because I want to own the Slash. But god damn, dude, they got to stop. People got to stop trying to cash in on the cash cow.
Yeah. And again, that's what worries me, because I mean, I don't make the kind of money that you make. And I don't have as large a collection as you do.
I don't make the money that I make.
But I have, I buy the things that I want. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't imagine that they're going to put out anything for any of the shows that I care about that I'm going to say, okay, this is better than NECA, right? Like, the NECA designs are awesome. I have all the 87 line. I'm going to collect the 2012 line. But it's like when the Lightning collection came out for Power Rangers on Hasbro, I was buying them. I enjoyed them. But then when 3-0 announced the 1/6 scale Power Rangers, where they're like wearing cloth uniforms and they actually look badass, I was like, okay, well, I'm selling all of this line and I'm just going to buy the 1/6 scale Power Rangers, and that's going to be it. And that's what I did. So now my Power Ranger collection is, I have the last set of 6 Rangers that they released, which were like the ultimate versions of the Rangers, except that because there was a problem with Jason, the actor who played Jason in real life, they didn't include his head sculpt.
Jason?
The Red Ranger. No, not the guy, not Jason David Frank who played the Green Ranger. But
no, I know, not Rocky, but the other guy before Rocky.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was in trouble legally because they said that he stole money during the pandemic. And so they didn't release his head sculpt, but everybody else has a head sculpt and all the extra accessories and everything else. So I bought those, and I kept all of the bad guys that they released, just so I would have them. But I'm not opening those. I'm not taking them out because I have my original 8-inch Power Rangers from when the toys first came out in '93, and now I have the 12-inch 1/6 scale.
So here's a fucked up part about that. So if you turn around, Truffy, god damn it, girl, back up here. Just drink that. Sorry, I'm a cat dad through and through. It is what it is. Raven was over here bothering me earlier, but she went back to bed, and now I got Truffy. So here's the fucked up part. These new toys, right? Like they're coming out for Power Rangers, so on and so forth. You can buy the OG that you care about that actually look good in the package for way less than some of the newer shit that's coming out. The price points are getting insane for figures, not for vehicles and so on and so forth. But just what are you pointing to? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, dude.
No. My wife was going to bed, so I want to say goodnight.
So I said, hey. No. I didn't say it like that. Oh, he's kissing her. Yeah, it's hot. That's hot. All right, so no, so
it wasn't even on the screen. What are you talking about? She's like, I'm never coming in here again.
Your real name isn't Jonathan by chance, is it?
It is not.
Ah, damn it. I'd love for her to be like, Jonathan.
No, it's just John.
Yeah.
And it's not even, it's just Jon.
God, your parents were like, you know what? Fuck it. John.
Yep.
So, yeah, in any case, so like some of the figures now, it's crazy. The price points don't even make any sense because you can buy the vintage for less than the newer ones. And it's sad.
Yeah. And again, it's kind of like, it's why we were talking about before. I've kind of gotten to the point where all I'm going to collect is the NECA Turtles. Occasionally, like I bought all the Street Sharks. I'm missing the one villain because I never found him at a decent price. And then
does he have a drill for a nose? Because I probably gave him away.
Yeah, you gave him to Chris. Yeah, but that was
I gave
one,
2 to Chris.
Yeah, and that was the one that I could never find at a decent price, and I wasn't going to spend the like $26 or $27 Target wanted. I'm
Psycho,
like,
I bought him on clearance.
Yeah, I bought the Piranha guy on clearance. It would cost me $11.
My God.
But it's like, so I'm going to buy things like that, like the Biker Mice. I thought that show was cool, so I bought those. Chris has the other one that I'm missing.
I never watched that show. Now,
Yeah,
SWAT Cats. I would have loved SWAT Cats.
Yeah, I just,
that was a 90s show too.
There was a period of time in the early 90s where some shows came out that I liked that I don't think were good, like the Double Dragon show. I played the games. The show was nothing like the games, but I thought the show was fun, right? Like the Mega Man show we've talked about before. I love that show.
I'm excited because I'm going to start carrying the blockies for Mega Man.
Yeah.
And I've already said, I'm keeping a set for myself. And I'm going to reach out to you guys in the group and be like, hey, I've got Mega Man blockies. You're going to want a case. It's like $60.
Yeah. But it's like, I can't really imagine what else I'm going to be collecting. The random hot toy here and there. My wife was like, when did you buy these hot toys? Because money's been tight for us recently. I mean, it's with the economy and with teaching and sure. We drive way farther now than we ever did before.
And you guys are off more than you quite frankly should be. My kids are out of school, I feel like, all the time.
Yeah. And so it's like, and people are like, oh, well, you get paid during the summer, which we don't. So we only get paid while we're there. We don't get paid for holidays either. But my wife is like, these 3 Hot Toys figures, can you cancel them? And I'm like, if I cancel them, I lose the deposit, and it's a larger deposit. So it's like I'm losing money that I'm not getting back. And she's like, well, you're not going to buy any more. And I said, to be honest, there isn't anything that Hot Toys could announce other than a Christopher Reeve 2.0 that I'm going to be interested in. I got the Spider-Man suits that I want. They're not going to re-release the Andrew Garfield from No Way Home. I'm going to have to find that aftermarket, but or on used market, secondhand. So I can't imagine I'm going to be buying any Hot Toys recently. So it'll be the 2012 figures as they're released, and that's it. I mean, other than that, I'm pretty much done. I'm not collecting the Power Rangers from Playmates. I buy the occasional Lego, but I've given up the small Lego sets. I only buy the ships now, and there's only a couple of ships that I want. I got the Enterprise at Christmas.
They made an Enterprise?
Yeah. And I only bought it because
wild.
Lego's doing these things now where
it's the Galileo shuttlecraft.
Yeah, so you can get it with purchase, but it's only the first week.
Nobody?
And so I wanted this. And so I had to buy, it's the Enterprise D, so it's the one from Next Generation, but it's awesome. I just haven't put it together yet.
I need 2 seconds. I need to use the restroom.
Yep.
Be right back.
Yeah. Well, I don't want there to be dead air. I don't know if Rebel Girl or Corin are still in the chat, but I can pretty much agree with what Tony was saying that you were saying. Like, how do you talk to me? Because I'm definitely opinionated and loud, and I like to talk. So I could see it. Tony's like, oh, she always is like, how do you talk with him? That just, it's crazy. I get it. I absolutely get it. Let's see. Tim said a bunch of stuff here. So Looks like we're on the same page about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and the Tom Holland Spider-Man, which is cool. Man of Steel, I don't know that I'm willing to say that Man of Steel was a terrible movie. There were definitely problems with it. Most of those problems were narrative. I think that Henry Cavill played Superman very well. I can't really comment on his ability to play Clark Kent because we didn't really get much Clark. We got images of Clark, right? So like images of him as a kid, but a lot of the narrative issues for Clark were carried through the kid version and not the adult version. There were elements, I guess, that I liked of it, but I thought that the most recent Superman movie with David Corenswet was absolutely head and shoulders better. I was
sorry to get some
bathroom. Dead air.
My mansion is so vast, you know.
So, but yeah, man, it's just as far as collecting goes, I'm taking a long look at all at my stuff and trying to decide what I'm keeping and what I'm not. Just because there are collections that I'm probably never going to finish. We've talked about it before. The DC Direct Batman Animated Series figures. I missed the jail. I missed the Batcave. And Chris has sent me links recently. He's like, oh, well, here's Man-Bat. And people say it's the same sculpt, but it doesn't look the same. Like, when I look at it and I compare the pictures, there's definitely similarities there. But I have the same problem with all the images that I've seen recently that I had with everything else, which is just the paint apps are terrible. Because I bought that initial pack that McFarlane released with Batman, Joker, Harley, and Harvey Bullock. And the sculpts were fine, but the paint applications to Harvey and to Joker and to Harley just looked terrible. And I never had a complaint about the sculpting or the paint application from the DC Direct figures. And so missing the Gotham City jail, I'm missing Killer Croc and a couple of other figures that were in there, not to mention Montoya, who came with the jail, and missing the Batcave. I'm missing Alfred, and that was the only way that figure was released. I'm missing Man-Bat, and I'm missing one other thing, and then I'm missing the Batwing. And those things are so goddamn expensive. I'm not buying those. Not on a teacher's salary, not unless I could find them super cheap. And so all the other ones that I have that I never opened, it's kind of like, well, I could sell these and I could use that money for something else, right? It's just, I don't know. It gets hard to collect. And sometimes I feel like I'm talking myself into buying something.
Sure.
Which I don't like feeling that way. I bought all the Spider-Man figures that came in the like classic TV show boxes. And I have all those. And I thought about opening those, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. I have a box full of Marvel Legends random Spider-Man figures that were released because I love Spider-Man. So all of them that came out that I thought were cool, I bought. I don't know. My favorite Spider-Man has always been Scarlet Spider. I loved Ben Reilly's Spider-Man suit that he wore when he was Spider-Man for a while. It was a Sensational Spider-Man, I think it was that he was. I think it was Sensational Spider-Man. And then the symbiote suit, right? Like everybody loves the symbiote suit. So
everybody loves that for different reasons, though, because it was the one time that Spider-Man took a totally different look.
Yeah.
And then his persona that came afterwards was just like icing on the cake. My favorite Spider-Man of all time is 2099.
Yeah. We've talked about that before. And the design is awesome.
I love the character, and I love his idea where he's like that, almost like an energy vampire of Spider-Man. And whenever they show him, they never show him when he goes nuts, except for in that one comic in 99 where he takes off the mask and he looks like looks like a spider.
Yeah.
So very cool. And they kind of like allude to that a little bit in the movie, the comic, or not the comic, the animated movie with Miles Morales.
Yep.
They give you that little bit of insight where he like starts to lose it a little bit, because he's going through that vampire phase. Very cool. Yeah, see, Tim and I have something in common. Yeah, look at that.
I don't know
Same
what it
for
is.
me.
I don't know what it is about Scarlet Spider. The design I always thought was awesome, but then the story behind him, right? Like, who's the real Peter? Am I the clone? Am I not the clone? And then
I love in the show how emo they make him though.
I hate
He's
that.
like, "Who
I
am
hate
I?" And he's like, "God damn it, it's funny." When he's sitting there leaning against like the wall, they're like, "Scarlet, you come with us," and he goes, "But who am I and who are us?" Like, it's so bad, but it's so good.
Yeah, but
I enjoy it. I think it's
when
cool.
they gave him the Spider-Man mantle for a while, and he had to design his own costume. I love that he kept the web fluid cartridges from the Scarlet Spider that were around his wrist. He left those on. He had that huge black spider with the long legs, like that went all on his chest and all on his back. And they actually incorporated that look into other versions of Spider-Man, right? Like Superior Spider-Man had a spider similar to that when it was Doc Ock controlling Peter's body. But then you had that really dark blue on the legs and everything and on the arms. I don't know. I've just always been a fan.
It's very cool. It's very cool. So let's go ahead and recap. Psycho, we have almost made it 2 hours ourselves.
Yes, it's crazy.
Who knew that would happen? So we talked about Mattel. We talked about Hasbro. We talked about, what else did I want to bring up that I brought up?
The Transformers.
Yes. Bingo Toys. Very cool.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real jobs, people. I'm tired. I wish Hasbro the best, but if you keep making shit like the Bruticus that's coming out, you guys are fucked. Because Menasor was cool. Superior was cool. Bruticus is hot garbage, which means next for you is Defensor. And if you do Defensor bad, you might as well just cut yourselves off. You guys are done.
Yeah.
You're not putting anything out that anybody's running after. You can only make Soundwave so many times. I'm sorry, Hasbro, you're running out of steam, man. I'm getting bummed. Collectors are getting bummed. They don't want to pay what we're charging for Transformers now. God, it's getting outrageous. I'm sitting on a Superion and a Devastator that I can't even move for retail. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just worried that we're not going to get anything for Beast Wars, and that frustrates me.
So I'm with you. They really should transition and start making quality, not the shit they were making, not the repops like, they were doing with all the flimsy, like, the G1 movie remakes that were all like shitty, flimsy character. Like, everything was garbage. Sorry. I'm starting to feel a little bit good right now. But most of the toys were flimsy and crappy and whatever. And so, just like myself, like any collector, you open these things and they're like, God, these are trash. I hope they don't continue to do that for Beast Wars, because of what they did release for Beast Wars. All the figures were terrible articulation. They were all flimsy. The plastics, the reproductions, they were all just trash. You can definitely tell that they were a reproduction toy. I opened the reproduction Megatron and Optimus because as a kid I had the real ones, right?
Yep.
And my brother and I, and that was late in the years, but my brother and I bought those. We bought Beast Wars because that brought back Transformers for us. Like, these were cool. So we bought them. And when we opened the new ones that came out, I'm like, God, these are garbage. The joints are flimsy. Everything felt rubbery. Like you could like manipulate all the plastics and the toys. They were garbage. And you're charging a premium for this garbage. So if Hasbro wants to do Beast Wars, they need to do it justice and re-release it with some purpose with the plastics and the way they mold them.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I just want them to, and we've said this before too, so I'm not going to rehash, but I just want them to continue the line that they're currently doing, where they've been releasing Beast Wars figures every so often. Sure. Give me a Rampage, give me a Depth Charge, give me Like, do some of the Transmetals.
But good quality.
Well, I mean, because the newer ones that they came out with, I'm not talking about the reproductions. I'm talking about, like, Quick Strike, right? Like, it's the newer one. It's not a reproduction of him. The quality's fine. I just want the other figures. Give me Depth Charge. Give me Rampage. I need the other figures.
Well, Depth Charge would be a redo, though, because Depth Charge came out with the what was the other series? Metallic. What was it when they were metallic? It was Transmetals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've gotten a couple Transmetals. So we've got the Dragon Megatron. They skipped over the second form and went right to the third form, but we got him. And then they didn't metallicize it as much as I think they should have, but they did make some elements. But I mean, give me Cheetor, give me Rat Trap, give me Tarantulas, give me these other characters that you didn't do, and put them out. Like, do it. Be done with it.
The problem is they're giving us the figures that are they're not the what do you call that? They're not Titans, but they're not is it Legends class? The bigger ones. What are they called? Like Optimus leader class. They're not giving us the leader class Beast Wars. They're giving us the smaller ones, which is fine, but they're giving them to us with lesser quality. So they're not spending any money on anybody who's not a $60 toy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 Megatrons that are leader class, and we got
so we got the Red Dragon.
And then the original Megatron is the same size as the Red Dragon.
Right.
And then we have the Tiger Hawk.
Yeah, the white and purple, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Tiger Hawk,
so those are great toys, great quality and everything.
Yeah.
But then you get past that, and it's like if we wanted what's his name? The ant. What the hell was his name? If we want Inferno, we're going to get a shitty product with Inferno. We're going to get like an inferior product.
No, I mean, I have Inferno. They did a great job with him. That's what I'm saying.
The reproduction Inferno?
It's not the remakes. It's the new design of the old toys. Like, so here's the Inferno, right? I'm not talking about doing a remaster of the original design. I'm talking about releasing the figures, right? Like, they redesigned them when they did the Netflix collaboration, right? When they did War for Cybertron, the third one on Netflix, it was all Beast Wars. And so they put out a lot of those figures. And then every year they put out 1 or 2 more. But since it's about to be the 30th anniversary of Beast Wars.
Oh my God, are we there already?
Yeah, 2026 is 30 years because it came out in 96. But it's like, since you're doing that, make the rest of the figures, right? It's the 30th anniversary. Give me give me
Dinobot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you've seen these, but again, like, I have all of them. So they have Inferno, Tigatron, Cheetor, Rhinox, Dinobot, Air Razor, Black Arachnia, Silver, Waspinator, Optimus Primal, Pterosaur, Quick Strike, Rat Trap, Scorponok, Tarantulas, Megatron 1, Megatron 3, and Tiger Hawk, and Inferno. It's like,
give Black Arachnia?
They do.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's like, give me the rest of the figures that you are redesigning, not just re-releasing, because the re-releases sucked. Like you said, the plastic was inferior. It's the same shit that happened with the Turtles.
86
Turtles,
movie thing.
Pizza Wagon.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
It was the inferior plastic, but these newer molds, based on the characters, have actually been very good. The quality. Here's Black Arachnia.
Oh, she looks good.
Yeah, it's like they've done a great job with these. So finish the line. You're so close to having everybody that appeared on the show. Just finish it.
All right, so I got nothing, man. Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, cool. Well, thank you all for coming out tonight. We didn't have Wheezy. That's okay. It happens. We didn't have Johnny. Again, okay, it happens. I think Psycho and I did a good job.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on for Thursday for Collector's Hideout. Psycho, do you know?
Chris and I have talked about a couple of things. We've talked about wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked. It's going to depend on who's available and who's not, but there's nothing definitive yet. We were going to do wrestling last week. We pushed it to this week because we were going to have somebody available. Now that person might not be available, so we'll see what happens and kind of play it by ear.
So I keep pushing for us to watch Frankenstein, which is on Netflix.
Yes. And Jose wants us to do that as well, but he's out of town this weekend.
Oh.
So that's part of the reason why we couldn't do that. He's
Cuban, right?
Yeah.
It sucks. It'd be so good.
Yeah. So he's out. He's leaving Friday morning for a debate tournament because he's also a coach, and he won't be back until Tuesday night. So that's why we couldn't do that this week. He's going to be gone.
That's cool. So anyway, I guess you guys will figure it out, but let me know either way. Listen, I'd love to talk about RoboCop too. We can talk about RoboCop because I just watched a new one again.
Okay.
And some of the changes and the nuances they did between that and the original. I think it'd be a good conversation. So if Weez is looking for some kind of content, I'm down for that.
Okay.
You let him know. You guys let me know. But
sounds good.
In that note, guys, yeah, we made it happen. Only the two of us, probably the two smartest ones you could have had on.
I got no comment on that. None.
We had a good time. Thank you guys for coming out. As always, drinks and toys. Always have a great time. We appreciate you. Wish more of you were on. And as always, we like to say, or as I like to say, shit, nut caps.